Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Hey guys, Tony the SoySauceAssassin, and yeah, there is some sound. Today we have an earlier show because it is Thanksgiving, and I want to make sure to give everybody time to enjoy the time with their family and whatnot. So we start early, and then we will end early, so that all of us can go do stuff. Hey Fernando's, how's it going? And I just need to refresh this chat room a little bit because usually the Facebook one, I mean not the Facebook one, the YouTube one is kind of weird if I don't refresh it. So, let's get the music started. Hey, it's Wild Billy. He has been on for a while. Like what happened? What happened? He hasn't been on for a little bit. So yeah, let me get this this thing going. Why is it this thing all weird? All weird. Here we go. We have KMB Golf. And we have Joe Sparaccio is here too, and then we have Kyle is also here. And the information is delayed, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't think that bothers me at all. So today I'm smoking the Espinosa 20th anniversary Corona, but it's like a long Corona. It's like not the regular. The regular Corona would be like this long, right? But this is the long Corona. So, hey, Dustin Range. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is Thanksgiving Eve, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow we have all kind of weird stuff to do, and then no sleep and all that stuff. I'm like thinking whether or not we should do like a midnight show, just because nobody's want to go to sleep. So why not go to have a show to smoke and kind of get everybody to midnight so you can go out and shop. But that depends how many people shop at midnight. Over here in Massachusetts, we don't do that, so I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. All right, so very cedary smelling cigar, very nice. Looks aged, but it's matte. It's shiny matte. It's shiny matte, like a cop paint kind of thing. Like a little bit fuzzy-ish looking on the top. And we have Garth is here, and I need to change this thing a little bit. Why is this thing? How do I change this thing? How do I change this thing? Because I want this to be to the right, but I can't get it to the right. Come on, move. Ah, it's not moving. It's not moving. Yeah, I thought I can change this. Oh, I might be able to. Nope. Let's just make it bigger. Okay. And we have Matt here. Says happy Thanksgiving, Tony and the Legion. So yeah, let's get this cut. There's a little bit tails here. Let's get it cut. If you're smoking something right now, let me know what you're smoking and what you plan to smoke for Thanksgiving. It's kind of tough because Thanksgiving you have family member coming here, so like sometimes you have to think about whether or not to smoke during this time. So very quiet. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. My microphone is quite loud, but I can make it just a tad louder. Here we go. Just a tad louder. How's that? I just want to make sure that is the right microphone. It is. So, if you have sound issues, you might want to turn it up a little bit. Let me light this up. I hope everybody had a relatively easy Wednesday. Some company let people out early because Wednesday travel and stuff like that is kind of crazy. So, if you're one of those companies, good for you. So, smoking my Pharaoh's Flying Pig. This is long smoke. Shouldn't be though. It's Flying Pig. Very cedary smell on this. Draw is slightly tighter than I like. Right away, I can taste a little bit of spice. Retro Hill, a little bit leathery, cedar, pepper, coffee. Hey Tim, what's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. So again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, including the people that's gonna watch this later. Gotta try the first red meat lover at the end of the night. Make sure you have food. Red meat lover is kind of heavy of a smoke. I tried it before. It's kind of heavy of a smoke. So I hope everybody enjoys tomorrow. You know, with family. It's a very important day. Thanksgiving, where everybody gathers. Don't have too much food. Just telling you, don't have too much food because you'll be eating that turkey for a week. Have a short story in a little bit. Kind of cold outside tonight. Yeah, we have rain/snow outside right now. Like, it's in bad weather. It's not a good weather for traveling today, for sure. For sure. So, it's not a show without talking about recent news, right? Like, we usually talk about recent news. I was thinking to put that in the front or put that in the back, but before I forget the whole thing, because it wasn't that even important, let's talk about recent news. Probably wait for rub roast for my first red meat lover, but DDD for tomorrow for sure. Okay, cool. Recent news. Now under mine. Here we go. Okay, so I think I have a question for Tim, but I don't know how long he's gonna stay. So, Tim, like when you do your shows, sometimes it's two of you, sometimes it's one of you, sometimes it's either of you. Do you guys record as like is there like a schedule kind of thing, like Tim Monday, Kyle Tuesday kind of thing? Is there like and then like maybe Saturday both of you guys? There's no schedule for it, right? It's just like whenever you guys decide to do it. Okay, so this is relatively peppery. It's not like killing you with peppery, but it's definitely is there. You can tell it's there. It's got a little bit of earthiness tone to it. It's not like the taste of earthy, but it has that earthy tone to it. Cedar is definitely there. There's a little bit of citrus acid in there. I try to record with both of us on Mondays. Okay. So it's hard for me to tell which one of you are doing what at which day. I usually just check my subscriptions to see who's on and I'll watch it. But I was wondering if there is a consistency of how you guys record it, because sometimes it's just one of you, sometimes it's both of you, sometimes both of you plus someone else. So I wonder like how you guys set it up. Okay. Okay. So let's do this. While we're talking about it, let's go to the story that I read today. Like, my wife talked to me about that, and I did not pay attention to it because I didn't think it was a big deal. But it's kind of got into a little bit of weirdness, right? So they say that Girl Scout is telling parents not to force their kids to hug relatives, or like tell their kids not to hug relatives, because that will affect their ability to make decisions. What do you guys think about that? Put your comments, what your thought about that particular news in the comments. What do you think, about Girl Scout talking about, girls shouldn't be, their kids shouldn't be going and hug family members, and would you still tell your kids to hug family? If it's me, I was like, go hug your aunt, go hug whatever, go hug. Hug is a very important thing. You develop relationship. When you never met someone, you give them a hug that one first time, you became friends. Okay, there's no such thing as kind of weird to hug someone, because hug is love. I don't see why it's bad to have your kids hug a family member. Auntie whatever came from where, go give her a hug before she goes. What's wrong? with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Like, okay, so you're saying that it is against the kid's right to tell the kid to go hug a family member before they go, but it's not against their right to tell your kids. Not only that, tell you gotta pay to join Girl Scout, but your daughter have to go sell cookies. Child labor? Anybody? See, first of all, let me say this, okay? I am a sucker for Girl Scout cookies because they taste so good, okay? Whoever makes it, good for you. Those mint chocolate, I will eat it all day long. But I just feel weird that, you know, you pay for your kids to go out learning skills and learn, like, you know, all that stuff in a Girl Scout environment, you know, just like Boy Scout, Girl Scout. And they end up spending the whole fall or whatever selling cookies. Now that's just always weird for me, because like, why are we paying for our kids to go out and sell cookies? You know, but I will want my kids to be able to hug the family members while they can, because in the future they might not have that chance, right? You know, people come and go, and majority of the families move around, right? You don't always have the family around you. If they show up and they want to give her a hug, give her a hug. You know, it's like, what kind of bad vibe do you have against your family that you can't even give them a hug? I'm not even telling you to kiss them. You know, I'm telling you to give them a hug because they're family members, right? And they travel all the way down maybe to see you. Because chances are, if my family member comes to my house, they're not here to see me, ever. Okay? They're not here to see me ever. You know, I will think that kids should be hugging their family member while they can, because when they're small, when they're a child, they haven't developed any beef with the family members yet, right? As you grow up, you start to have beef with all kind of, you know, family members. You like this, you start to choose which family member you want to be with and which family member you really want to avoid as you grow up. But as a kid, I really think that, you know, they should just hug everybody. You know, it's like, your uncle's going, give him a hug. Your whatever is going, give it a hug. Both my boys are Cub Scouts, and being friendly, courageous are the kind of 3 different essentials that we teach them. But in that case, how do you feel about having them sell? I don't know. Boy Scout doesn't sell cookies, right? What do they sell? They sell popcorns or something like that. How do you think about that? I know it's to raise money for something, but I just don't know the detail of, so I can't comment on what the money's for. But, well, number one, it's dumb as hell for the Girl Scout to sue Boy Scout over cookies. I'm surprised that Girl Scout cookie can actually sue Boy Scout for selling cookies and win. Like, that's ridiculous to me. All right, that is wicked ridiculous to me. To have for Girl Scout to be able to win a lawsuit saying that Boy Scout is also selling cookies and they shouldn't be able to. What happened to, like, you know, goes to the fund for the activity and camp for the annual budget, but don't you guys already pay for them to go to camps? So that's why I don't understand. I kind of feel like why will you pay for someone to go join the scout, pay the fee, pay the cost, pay for whatever, and then still have to sell cookies? That's like, you know, couldn't have no problem with those cookies. I would have bought it anyway, you know. But they made it kind of competitive anyway. So it's like, if your daughter sells the most, it gets whatever award or recognized and stuff like that. That's kind of like pinning against each other using the parents. It's like, eh. Girl Scouts around here are rich ballers off those cookies. I swear to God, like, every time when I have a chance to buy those, hundreds of dollars goes out. Because those cookies are very addicting. They're not expensive, but they're expensive. They add up, you know. When you have that many choices, I think there's only 1 or 2 kind of Girl Scout cookie I did not like, but the rest of them I like. The popcorns I don't really particularly care for. That's the problem. But yeah, I just feel weird for the organization that's teaching, you know, group activities, you know, teamwork and all that stuff, try to sue each other over cookies. We do depend on how well popcorn sales do. We pay annual registration, most of which goes administrative fee and national fees. Right, so isn't that like cost already? Like when you guys do some other stuff, this cost. When you get a badge and stuff, don't you pay the fees on that too? When you're closing and all that stuff, you pay all the fees. So it's kind of weird for me to think about they still had to raise money for something because they kind of make a lot of money. And those peanut butter ones are amazing. The HQ is amazing. Has 60,000 canoes art pieces hanging for their ceiling. See, that's the thing. That's a waste of use of money. That's crazy. Selling cookies. Who ever thought national selling cookies? I think Girl Scout cookies. They actually have factory that make their own cookies, and they make 100% of that profit. It's crazy amount of profit in those cookies. So you know they make a lot of money. And that's why when Boy Scouts try to sell cookie, they're like, no, you can't. You can't. No, it goes to cover the insurance and full-time staff. Still, I just feel it's weird. If my kid was to join that kind of stuff, I'd rather donate money straight than having them go spend the time to go sell popcorns. Because that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? They might as well just sell that regularly on a web store or something that had parents buy them as like a donation rather than having kids to go sell them. Because I've seen them outside in the cold try to sell cookies. And I'd rather my kids learn something rather than sitting there selling cookies. You know what I'm saying? I call and they were screaming, they come buy Girl Scout cookies. And I think that's kind of a guilt tripping them to buy cookie too. So it's might as well just have a website sell cookies all the time. Because that's pretty much what it is. Boy Scout here are having closed down their campground to save money. We pay for uniform out of pocket, but it's a tax write-off. Is it? Could that be a tax write-off? I don't know. But yeah, if you think about all that, I just feel like, you know, you spend like a whole month selling cookies, might as well. You start to learn some other activity in a while during the winter time, how to save yourself in the winter, that kind of stuff, rather than selling cookies. Because you when you send your kids to that kind of stuff, you want them to learn a skill. You want them to learn life changing skills. So how long am I gonna keep up with the gold versus white coin vote? I have no idea, because I feel like, you know, people are having too much fun, just make it tie. Because right now it's like off, tie, off, tie, off, tie. You know, it's hard to decide because both of them look good. I would love to have both of them. What happened is I plan to do one for this 1 year anniversary, and then do more for next year using the other one. So the one that we don't use, we'll use the other one for next year. The more valuable life skill is taught in Boy Scout. No wonder Girl Scout want to join Boy Scout. I have no idea. I never joined it before, but I know that, you know, you learn your skill to how to take yourself in the wild, you know, how to start a fire, how to get yourself, you know, out of pinch, that kind of stuff. I like how selling popcorn teaches our boys social skill, math, and selling skills with the sale. I don't know about that. I mean, if they want to do social skills, they will have done something else rather than try to sell popcorns. And math skill, they learned that in school. So that kind of skill, either way, they will learn in high school when they get their first job or something like that. So I didn't think it was necessary. Yeah, I just want to see how that come out to be, because here's the thing, all right? What I think is gonna happen is when you have gold plated, the face pops out because you're just plating the face, right? You're not cutting them. So the skull version with the gold is gonna pop out. The part with skull will have whites will dent in, because now you need spot to put those ink on top of it, or enamel on top of it. So it's actually two different look too. and Michael Wells. So it's hard. Our family always bought several $100 worth of popcorn and came to, yeah, that's how it is. You know, because you don't want to embarrass your kid either. Your kid comes out home and says, "Daddy, we're trying to sell popcorns. Would you like to get some?" And you're like, "Of course." Because if I don't, my kid will go back to with the least amount of sales. Because they do post sales or something like that. They pin the parents against each other. You know, they're really smart. They pin because the parents got to spend the money. I'm an assistant cup master, so I'm crazy involved. For a Girl Scout or Boy Scout? Boy Scout, right? Like, if I have kids, of course, I want him to join too. I mean, obviously, Boy Scout teaches you some skills that, you know, parents don't have time to teach them. You know, you had to go out there and had to learn. You know, also it's bonding. You make friends and stuff like that. I would rather just go to the camp and say, "Don't make my kids sell popcorn. I will just buy them right now." It's like, you know, how much popcorn do you want to sell in a year? I will just buy them right now. Because that will have much help for them to learn something else instead. I would rather learn. They spend the time to learn something rather than being at the cold, outside in the cold selling popcorns. That's my opinion, though. That's my opinion, because obviously I don't have kids right now, so I don't know how that will feel. I don't know the detail of it. So I can only say that if my kids go to join that kind of program, like a summer program or whatever, I want them to spend the entire time bonding with friends and go learn something. All right, talk to you later, Tim. I want them to learn something. I want them to be able to enjoy their time, you know, enlightened rather than selling stuff. You know, as a kid, it might be fun, but as an adult, you're selling stuff, son. You're selling stuff. You're selling popcorns, you know. You know, in that case, you know, why didn't you just get a summer job? You'll be selling all summer. Okay, so for those people who enter late, we're smoking the Espinosa 20th anniversary. This is Corona, but it's really long Corona. I was told that this is actually quite rare because it's not sold in everywhere. It's just in selected stores. So this is part of that Espinosa package, as one of the rare one that's in there. So far, it's okay. I mean, I don't particularly see something that stands out. It did age well. It tastes like aged. A little bit of pepper, just a little bit of floral notes, and then you get cedar, and then you get a little bit of earthy mouthfeel, and cedar. At times, you get a little bit of burnt ashy taste, but it's not like an unpleasant one. I'm still thinking what I'm gonna smoke tomorrow. Actually, I haven't decided what I'm gonna smoke tomorrow. Obviously, with the parents-in-law in the house, I don't know what time they're leaving, so we're gonna deal with them until they leave, and then I can go smoke something, because obviously I don't want to listen to them when I smoke a good cigar and, you know, just stay in the basement and not come up. So, you know, I'm thinking what to smoke. But if you guys already decided what to smoke, like the Meat Lovers Club one, that's pretty good one. That's pretty good. That's a heavy one though. Make sure you have a really big meal, because that's one where I smoked last time. I definitely felt the strength. So it's definitely something that you want to make sure you have, you know, full stomach to go with that. You know, it's not something that you want to go. You really don't want to get sick on Thanksgiving Eve. And then we have what's coming up? Christmas, New Year's, and obviously our 1 year anniversary. My thing is that I'm debating whether or not to have a show on New Year's Eve, because you know, everybody want to count down. So I don't know if I want to do that. I'll post it when I smoke my Lambamba but I'm not sure if I like it after your review. That F-bomb size is comically big. I don't know. It's something that, you know, some people like, some people don't. Obviously, you know, I realized something that I don't like, Jeff likes. So it's the opposite spectrum. It's the opposite spectrum of taste. So New Year's Eve is Tuesday night to Wednesday night, which I don't really think that we should do it. I'll probably just do the Wednesday night one as New Year's Day show. But Christmas 25th is right on Wednesday. So I don't know. We might have show on that night too. Depends how busy everybody is, though. This weekend, I will be heading up to the Two Guys Cigar Shop in Nashua. Only because, why not? Thanksgiving weekend. Might as well go shop for something, and there's some cigar I want to look for. You guys already know, Davidoff's. I want to buy my cigars before next year because I want to commit to myself buy less cigar next year. This year I bought more cigars than last year, so you know, gotta keep it down. I don't want to continue to grow my cigar collection. I need to deplete them. Gotta deplete them, gotta smoke them, and so that, you know, I can make room for other stuff. I'm going to have a Secret Santa early next week. Christmas is fast approaching. Yeah, if you have the Secret Santa stuff, send it out as soon as you can before the Christmas week, because that week things get lost. Things get lost, things get delayed, things get, you know, a lot of crazy stuff is happening. So it's best to do it earlier than ever, you know, kind of thing. Oh, definitely. I mean, you don't have to go. Basically, I'm just asking if anybody's like up there. If someone's going with me, then I will stay there longer. If not, it will just be me and my wife going there, buy stuff, and leave. You know, so it's totally fine. I actually just plan to go there, buy stuff, and then go shop for my wife's stuff. You know, it's usually that's the case. I figure I'll find a alcohol store right next door and buy some nice drink too while I'm at it. I'm pretty sure they're a good store. I mean, brick and mortar. You know, so long as they've been in business for a while and you've been in there and you feel good, they usually will be a good store. So I'll go in there. Hopefully one day we can talk to them about, you know, Shadow Smokers Legion having discounts. Who knows? But yeah, I'll go there, give them a try, take a look at their humidor, and really get a feel of what kind of store it is, because I've never been up there before. So we'll take a good look. I always try to give cigar stores, cigar lounges, a fair assessment. Like, I'll go in there, I'll relook at their humidor, I'll really take a look at it, I'll really think about, you know, whether their service is good or not before I decide to suggest it or trash it. You know, one of the things, you know, if I had a bad experience, I usually will tell everybody that I have bad experience, because I feel like bad experience in terms of review is more important than a good experience. Because experience might vary, but when you have a bad one, that really has a reason. So when I go to a place and when I shop online, go to a specific website, if I had a bad experience, I tell everybody about it. You know, that's, you know, when somebody asks me like, hey, well, I'm about to buy it there. Well, what is the problem? How is it? I will usually tell them that don't go there, blah blah blah. Now, a lot of people say I never had a problem when it comes to shopping a specific store and stuff like that. Here's the thing though. I never had a problem doesn't mean it's good. I never had a problem means it functioned as expected. Means I bought stuff, it shipped to me. That's, I never have a problem. But that doesn't mean that like when you had a problem, you were taken care of. That's a big problem, right? That's the big end of why I like to shop in Cigars Daily or, you know, any other store that I shop with, because when something goes wrong, how they take care of you is more important than whether or not things went wrong. So I never had a problem means that you haven't been able to give a a full review because you don't know how they take care of it when you have a problem. So a negative review is usually more important than a positive review because functioning as expected is pretty much every business. Functioning as expected is pretty much any business. But if you listen to those people that have problems, how their problem was solved, is it up to expectation? That's the most important part of choosing a store because you never want things to go wrong. But when it does, you want it to be taken care of. You don't want to go through the huge hassle just to get things taken care of. So usually when I review a place, when I go to a place, my assessment is really based on how good they take care of their customer when something goes wrong. All right. So I'm not expecting anything to go wrong, but I would love to, when I comment on the store where I say, hey, I don't recommend that place, and people come in and say, I never had a problem. I much rather have somebody says, no, Tony might have a problem with them, but when I have a problem with them, they took care of me. That is much better indication of that store is better for you than I never had a problem. Yeah. So that's what I was gonna show you guys the ash. The ash is nice and white and straight, but I just happened to tap it just when I put it down. But so far the burn's good. The draw is a little bit more tight than I like, but then again it's a Corona, so they usually roll it tiny. So it's gotta be a little bit tight. That's okay. That's okay. So since we're talking about the events that are coming up, I also want to show you guys this. There's one more prize. I think that's pretty cool. That's being added to the prize pool. In Salem has their own house blend for pipe tobacco. Not sure the Nashua one. I'm sure they have it too if you're looking for pipe tobacco to practice your pipe. That's a good suggestion. I will take a look because I'm going to the one that's in Nashua. I'm not going to Salem. I'm trying to find the one that's closest to me. So Nashua one is the one I'll be going. But here you go. I gotta show this. Okay. Let me see if I can add a picture. We'll add this as a source. Now ignore this picture because we're talking about Pongla last time. But I'm gonna change the picture. Okay. Alright. So our auth from our group has added this to the prize pool. So I wanted to show it to you guys in case you guys didn't catch that particular post. There we go. It's an actual tree branch made out into a ashtray. He called it live edged spelt maple ashtray. So it's a really cool ashtray, and the outside still have that tree look to it, and the inside is nicely turned. So this will be added to the price in addition to my clock's special ashtray as well. So we have a lot of ashtray, but that's the thing though, you never can have enough ashtray. I would like to say you never have enough ashtray. I would love to put an ashtray in every single little place in my house. My wife doesn't put ash in the ashtray, but she will put everything else in the ashtray. Coins, little bits of things that she finds, her rings, whatever. She will put in an ashtray. So ashtray is useful everywhere. But, something like this, I would definitely put in the man cave, though. It's not something that you want to, put it out for a place that doesn't fit. That will fit nicely in the man cave. So I just want to add that in picture here to show you guys what kind of prizes we are adding to the prize pool as well. So yeah, prize pool is growing. People joining the raffle is growing. It's gotta be a blast. It's gotta be a blast. I can only say that. It's only gotta be a blast. I definitely had to get my studio ready for the prize thing because my little office right here in the corner will not be able to fit all the price and all the information and all the stuff. And I have to sort out all the pictures. So whenever I'm doing the price drawing, a picture will show up to the corner, so you actually know what you're being drawn for, and that way there's no question what we're doing. I need to open my Room 101 ashtray now. I have an indoor smoking room. Awesome, awesome. Gotta be a fun holiday season for us. Yeah, definitely. It's our technically first Christmas season, first vacation season. So, you know, it's gonna be amazing. For me, as a, you know, we already did it twice, and I think both time I learned something in terms of organization. How can we do it better? That kind of stuff. So, no, because I actually have one here, so I just showed that one. Everybody know how awesome it is because everybody already saw your SSL Pride picture. It was in the background. That thing is huge, by the way. That thing is gigantor. It's not joking, kind of big, which I love. You're guaranteed to drink more liquid with that. Guaranteed to run to the bathroom 3 times with that. I'm actually debating. There was one more. I have one more Shadow Smokers Legion / Bob the Cigar Guy metal stand, and I might add that to the pool as well, because I know a lot of people did not get it, and they regret afterward. But I think that's pool worthy. It's worth to be in the raffle. I just don't want to give it up. That's the thing. I only have 2, you know, but I think a lot of people will like it. And the good news is that I actually want to make more stickers today to add it to the swag prizes pool, because I know a lot of people don't have the original sideways Shadow Smokers Legion logo. So I actually want to make more today, and hopefully they will get here before the drawing. I think it will. Usually doesn't take that long. And we also have the bags. Now the bag, I usually use bags, bunch of stuff together. If they fit, I will bag it. If not, I don't know. If you win enough prizes, I just use it to bag it to protect it, so that you have some bag to use. Now, if you collect enough of those bags, I think it will be a nice gift bag when you send stuff out. You know, it's just easier. You put everything together. It's kind of protecting. If you wrap it enough, I think it's hydrophobic, because outside it's like plastic, so it doesn't have water go in. It's a pretty nice bag. Just lost my giant ash because my knob tool is just a single pin and the cigar spins around. You know, I only made them with a single pin. I don't know how it would look like with double pins. Maybe in the future I'll make some double pins to see how they are. I have never tried it to make a double pin, because the back I use the circle to hold the glue, so they won't really fit double that well. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut one end and then make it into 2. Maybe I can do that. I will see. Because I don't really knob my cigar that much. Usually when I smoke a cigar, I think enough is not when I have like about 2 fingers left, like something like this, and it's getting hot, then that's where I stop. Because I don't really want to smoke all this hot air into my mouth, regardless how good it is on the cigar. I think the cigar is meant to be enjoyed just onto the finger part. The rest of them is the beginning of that wrap. So I didn't think it was needed to smoke. You know, if you feel like you need more, it's always pick up another fresh one to smoke. Is better than smoking down to that knob. That's just my opinion. I just feel like you're mostly smoking the hot air now at the end. So smoke better when it's cold. You can taste more when it's cold. So when you have it near the end, you're smoking the hot air. So now we're like about 2/3, the second third way through. It's getting sweeter. and you start to get that very pleasantly aroma. So you still get that cedar at the end though, very like a base cedar, but it gets sweeter. It's getting sweeter as it goes. It's not a bad cigar. I heard that. I remember heard that this one is more expensive than the rest of them. For the size, I don't know. I don't know if this is particularly worth the purchase as itself. Like if you just go out and buy one of these. But so far, it's enjoyable. It's not bad. Turkey's in the brine, thank goodness. I won't be eating turkey tomorrow. I'll be eating duck tomorrow. I also bought myself a nice steak to eat. So most likely I'll be eating steak at night. So turkey is just not my thing. Because when I buy turkey, I have to eat it for a week. And I don't really like to eat dry turkey days later, you know. The biggest problem is that you had to fit the leftovers in the fridge, and that usually cramps up my entire fridge that I cannot go out and get grocery. And so all I have was things to fix up a turkey sandwich and stuff like that, which is a problem because Asian fridge are pretty full. If you see my fridge, it's full. It's always full. All right. My freezer is always full, so I can't fit an entire, 10-pound turkey into my fridge. Even if it's after you deboned it, everything, it's still too much for my fridge. It's just not for me. I've done it before, back in the past. I tried to follow the holiday spirit, tried to do that, tried to cook a turkey for 5 hours and stuff like that, but I heard it's better gently roll the cigar than tap it. That is true. So people say it's bad act to do this because it reminds them of cigarettes, and to pay respect, to pay homage to the cigar, if you want to get rid of it, you roll it. The furry man. I think you got China a little bit mistaken. This is the US. This is the US. So, hi, the ferryman. But this is not China. I'm not even made in China. That's the problem. So yeah, if you just roll it off, it kind of shows that you're paying some homage, some turn, and some effort to do this first. God made China first, and then God made the rest of the. We just give it a few times, give it some time, okay? First of all, if you think God made China first, you'll be mistaken because based on the historical study, entire Earth used to be one piece. So God didn't make China first. God made everything together. Well, you don't think God can make everything together? You have a problem. So yeah, if you don't know that, then come up with something more original. If you want to troll something that is more productive. At least came up with a good story, because if you want to troll something, come up with something better. That's the rule of this room. If you want to troll, come up with something better, so that actually makes sense for everybody. Because how many people actually knows about One Piece here? It's like a freaking 20-something year anime that doesn't end. Okay, so let's get to something that's more interesting. You don't want to just get banned for no reason, right? You want to get banned with a good troll. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is. Honest to God, I don't even know who Jacob Rootchild is. Is that some sort of that's an actor, right? Something like that, maybe. Well, anyways, back to the cigar. You can call me whatever. You can call me Boomer. I don't care. You don't know what my age is? I'm 115 10 times over. Everybody knows here. Everybody in the chat room knows I'm 115 years old 10 times over. Keep trying. Keep trying, man. Keep trying. So, Espinosa cigar. Now, I don't even know if Espinosa has 20 years of history already. It doesn't seem that way because not many people knows the history of Espinosa. For me, I did not know. If it wasn't because of Brendan, I wouldn't have known Espinosa that well. Do I know the Batman cigar? Yeah, I do. But was it something that I go out of my way to look for? No, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not the cigar that intrigued my interest. That in terms of like how much I like Espinosa, I think so far it's still behind Casa Cueva. I still think Casa Cueva is better. Of all the one that I smoked right now, I still like Casa Cueva is better. One guy was in his bathroom and cried. Near him was a soup and a rain. Why did he cry? Soap and a rain. Why did he cry? Because he dropped his soap? I don't know. I hope you're not trying to do a... because his wife was a Jew. You know, I see, I didn't even get that. I didn't even get that. A soap and a ring, I did not get that. Oh, okay, the ring might be from the wife, but what about soap? It has nothing to do with Jew, see? I'm not one that's really good with racial jokes either. Step up a notch, man. Step up a notch. Okay, boomer. He's calling me old. He's calling me old. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of the coffee and bitterness here. Yeah, it's such a weak trolling. We have better, okay? Here, the ferryman. We have people talking about, was that ostrich? Ostrich racing, okay? Ostrich racing equipments, okay? And like holding about Olympic and shit. I mean, your trolling is just, like, not even close. See, I allow people to troll so long as the troll is, somewhere creative, somewhere, up there. But that joke is like down here. I can almost not see it. I know nothing about Illuminati. Won't bother me. Nothing about it. If you want to know about Illuminati, you should go get a good study of it. They have a whole rule, huge rule, and a rule book and all that stuff of how to get involved, how to get enrolled, and all that stuff. So, Illuminati is real. Do you even know how to pronounce that? It's actually pronounced Israel, not Israel. You know, when you call the people in Israel, it's Israeli. Israel. Still. Weak. I have to tell you, the ferryman, this cigar is stronger than your trolling. This is only like a medium, light to medium cigar. And this one is stronger than your troll. Oh, here we go. It went sexual just now. Doesn't work that way, man. Doesn't work that way. See, that shows your age. You're too young. People like my age don't care about sexual chores. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because we already went through there. Been there, done that. Goodbye. I agree. Garth, I agree. You know, it's, yeah, when you went sexual, you run out of stuff. You have run out of stuff. Alright, you just, nothing more. That's the difference between black and white fairy tale. White begins once upon a time, black begins y'all motherfucker ain't gonna believe this shit. You mean that's the difference between a black, well, what's the difference between a black and white fairy tale? Once upon a time. Now, once upon a time is Asian. All Asian story starts with once upon a time. Hey, David. All Asian story starts with once upon a time. White story begins with in a place far, far, far away. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. You gotta work on your trolling skill, man. If you wanna troll. If you're not gonna troll, if you run out of story, that's fine. Just sit here and just listen to our chat. It's totally fine. You don't have to try any harder. I know you ran out of stuff. But I'm not kidding. This cigar is stronger than your trolling. You know, there are people that trolls me, bothers me so much that I had to, you know. How do we know Adam if we're not Asians? Well, let me tell you how do you know that Adam and Eve is not Asian. Because Eve ate the fruit of wisdom. If Adam was Asian, he would have ate it first. And he would stole the rest of them too. Alright? Not only that, the Asian will make that tree a business. He will sell all those trees with counterfeits. That's Asian. So we know he's not Asian. There you go. Yeah, they wouldn't even bother to eat the fruits. They will sell those fruits for money. And then go catch every other animal to eat. There won't be two of each left. Hey, where's the tiger? Oh, my carpet? You talking about my carpet? There you go. Snake blood wine. Wait, no. They actually put the entire snake in there to make wine. The snake blood actually clogs a little bit. It's not a good thing to make wine out of. But yeah, you're talking to people that eats everything. And now see, Fairyman doesn't know me, but if anybody meets me, they'll have to eat some crazy stuff. So Adam and Eve, they're nothing on me. Okay, eating snake is. If you see me, you will be glad to eat the snake compared to what I bring you. That doesn't even work anymore, man. Do you know that Korea is the #1 country to do surgeries on eyes? Korea, Asian, is the #1 place to do surgery on eyes because their eyes are single eyelid, even smaller than Asians. So, you know, if you can put a single floss over their eyes and blindfold them, it doesn't matter. Korea is gay? Again, no context. When you try to troll me, bring me facts. That will work. You troll me with some sexual jokes, doesn't work. Troll me with some information that you don't have fact with, doesn't work. K-pop sucks? I don't know. Do you blow? Exactly. Try it before you knock it. That's the thing. You know, if it's in one country and served as delicacy, there's a good reason that why it's a delicacy, right? The same thing with cigars too. I mean, if you go out there, you look at a cigar because it's bad packaging, and then it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna smoke that because it has no band or whatever. But sometimes you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised sometimes that there are some cigars that's really, really good. Try them before you smoke it. Try them before you say I'm not gonna smoke it, right? Same thing with food. They might look super bad. It might be, look completely harmless, but don't knock it until you try it, Even those century eggs, you see, if you're there to see Michael eat that century egg, he's like, it's okay, it tastes fine, it's okay, it tastes fine. But at least he tried it, even though he had to barf right out of it. He barfed it out of it, but totally fine. Now he knows how it tastes like. A lot of cigar that's bended actually starts out with unbended. That's the thing though. Most cigar companies will actually produce a lot of cigar that's unbended. And some stores will actually use them as regular cigars. They'll bend it and then advertise as their own. Right? So believe it or not, a lot of store brands, a lot of bended cigar were those bundle cigars. And they just bend it and they put it there. Are those best jokes kids have nowadays? Troll wouldn't have last 5 minutes in old school Xbox Live. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, if you gotta troll this room, at least come up with something creative, because it doesn't work. And I've been through the 90s, man. And I've been through the early 2000s. The jokes nowadays, the troll nowadays, I don't feel shit. That's the problem. It's just, it doesn't work. You gotta get something even the 90s will be offended. Then maybe I'll be offended. Bring something even the 90s will be offended. Filthy Vikings blend, I am 90% sure that used to be a bundle cigar. So, it tastes good, it's cheap enough to make profit. It has to be a bundle cigar before. Just that we can't tell the difference. I can guarantee not one person can go through 10 cigars, all blind, no band, no nothing, there's no way to identify them, and be able to tell which cigars from which brand. There's no way. Or in some cases, if they put 10 of the same cigar and tell you to smoke it, you might not be able to tell if they were the same or different. The only thing we can tell is either we like it or not. That's the thing. Do we find the taste that we like? Is it enjoyable? Is it worth your money? That's pretty much all that is important, right? Is it enjoyable? Can you afford it? That's pretty much it. The decoration just makes you feel good. When you have a really nice box, you feel great about it. You like to collect them because they look great, even as a decoration. So those times you can't smoke it, you can still take a look. Hey, what's going on? Glue, right? So it's Brian. Watch me be wrong again, because I keep thinking Glue is Brian, but I could be wrong again. Best cigar I have was Wiseman Maduro Robusto. Really? That's one cigar I didn't think was too crazy either. Oh yeah, I got it right this time. I got it right. So yeah, I think Wiseman's are pretty good, but for the Wiseman to be the top 10, I don't know. There are some cigars that I think is on par with it, if not better. But is it good? Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not like top tier good. I like Padron 1926, but if it was unbended, I couldn't tell with certainty. I'm sure can like a few DTTs. DTTs are not bad. They're actually quite strength. There's a lot of strength in all of the DTT cigars. So if you like medium and up strength, DTT is one of those brands that you want to go with, right? You always have a good time with those. There's not one DTT is particularly bad. All right, they are either acceptable or better. That's why I can describe DTTs. But their price are pricey. And Steve Saka tried to justify his pricing structure by saying that it helps the industry, blah blah blah. But I think it's slightly pricey. I mean, in the end, tobacco leaf doesn't really cost that much money. And I can say the same thing about Davidoff. I think the difference between the price of some of the leaves is really how rare it is, and sometimes they have to bet against another company for that particular blend, and that's what might cost money. For example, like we have 5,000 this particular cigar leaves, and whoever pays the highest gets that batch or something like that. That might happen. I don't know. But in reality, does it really cost that much money to do a cigar? Not really. Unless you hire this one particular master blender roller to roll just that cigar. Then yeah, production goes down, supply and demand, price goes up. My first scotch was Arbor, and I tend to like this. So I tend to like this strong flavors. Yeah, there's a lot of strong flavors that goes with different cigars. I mean, there's a lot of what's the thing? The LFAs, they're kind of strong. And you'll probably like the Basins, right? They're very strong cigars. Tons of margin on cigars, and that's the thing. Cigars is at least 100% markup, right? So it's usually Keystone and up. So there's margin there, but I mean, they how hard to make profit, right? So if you think of it this way, all right, you think of it this way. If you buy a cigar from Rocky Patel first had to buy their material, source it from a cigar leaf factory, most likely Plasencia. There's not even a question. Plasencia pretty much supplies every company, all right? So they buy their stuff from Plasencia, and then spend money to bend it and all that, and then sell it again. So there's already one markup, and then once you get to Rocky Patel, it has another markup. Once you go to the store, it has another markup. So you go through markup 3 times before you buy a cigar. So I'm pretty sure there is some earning in there. Like I say, the majority of the price that you don't think about is your box. It's your box. It really is. It really is. All right. It costs money to make this box. The box isn't free, right? Even for Plasencia, they make their own box. It still costs money and labor to make this box. So the cigar comes with the box means that each cigar shares a portion of the price of the box. So the more complex the box is, the more money that the cigar had to be to compensate for the price of the box. So before you know it, you're already paying for the box if you're buying singles. So when you're buying singles, you're paying for that box that you didn't have. So when you have like Opus, why does it cost so much? Well, any Opus X box is nicely solid wood lacquered box. So they're not just any regular box. They are very nicely decorated. So if you think about it, like, if that box costs $20, $30 you make, plus the cigar, you're actually paying that each cigar is got to share a portion of that $20, $30. That's not including the cigar its own price markup. So when they bought the cigar, let's say they bought the box at $100 and they sell it for $200. Let's say $20 that cigar box, actually $40 that cigar box, because the exact markup for the per cigar, right? So if $20 was the box and $80 was the cigar, 100% markup, you're paying for that box. $40 of that is your box. So then when they released I think it was like $1,000 Opus X set for like 13 cigars. Yeah, it's $1,000, but you think about it, that box probably cost you $200 to start with, right? You're paying for that box. That's why a lot of them, they will sell you the exactly thing. They don't want to sell you something that's not in the box, because that box is majority of the price. Persian King, I smoked the Persian King in one of the reviews. It wasn't a bad cigar per se, but it's just that, you know, calling it a Persian King, shouldn't you decorate it, make it really wow versus naked? That Persian King cigar is completely naked. Only what you identify is with the cut out shaggy foot without wrapper on it. I would love for them to put a Persian King sign on it and then just put on the band, For me, the band actually is part of the experience. And by the way, see how nicely this burns? This thing burns straight, even with me talking and all that stuff. You know, I would think Persian King, and Persian King is one of the expensive one in that whole series of cigars. You would think that they will have bend it. You know, they will bend it for a little bit. But yeah, removing the bend is part of the experience, right? I feel like when I remove the band, I finally that's the part that says I'm on my last bit. It's like last call, you know. I'm down to my last bit. So it's part of the experience, I think. Like when you remove the band, you're at the last little bit. You're ready to, you know, call it, kind of thing. So I think the band is very important. It's part of the experience. Should be part of the ritual to remove that band. I don't know. What do you guys think? For me, I think that's definitely part of the experience. Also, it gets you to talk about whether or not this band is nicely put on, too much glue or whatever, you know. And that goes to ash again. Sometimes I'm more careful when there's ash. When ash falls, I just go whatever, you know. Nice band though. I like this band. It's not bad. Let me get help a little bit. Now I just realized that troll has given up. The troll has given up. We have won. We beat the troll. Really? I don't think you can smoke super glue, so I hope it's not super glue. I hope it's not super glue. You definitely don't want to be smoking super glue. That's weird. But hey, they say Skip Martin has a bad reputation, and I definitely beat him. So hey, I beat Skip. Last third, it did get stronger, just a tad though, not a lot. I have to wait until the band is almost burning, then slip it off on the top. So you like to keep the entire band like that? See, the thing about that is when I do it, I tend to catch the end of the cap, and then I'll ruin the cap. That's why I don't do that often. If it's super loose, then I'll pull it off, but then sometimes it's just not doable. But that keeps you a nice band though. Now, I want to ask you guys this though, and I want your honest opinion, because you know, I tend to talk to my friends on and off here and there, and a lot of time I talk about Shadow Smoke's Legion because it's a big part of my life right now. Shadow Smoke's Legion is pretty much all I work on my spare time, any spare time whatsoever. So my friend was talking about, said, hey, you've been kicking a lot of people out because inactivity and stuff like that, and there are some people that just, you know, might have learned their lesson and stuff like that. Should you have one special day allows people to come back? What do you guys think? Should I allow people to come back, but then that like one special day a year says allow people to do readmission or something like that? What do you think? I mean, that will exclude people that got kicked for, you know, violating the rules. But for people that's, you know, accidentally get kicked or kicked because of audit and stuff like that, maybe their life has changed around, whatever, they can be more active. Should I have a special day where I allow readmission? That makes sense. I can see missing the outlet because life. You think that's fair? Okay, so you guys are okay with that. Now, I particularly was indifferent about this particular suggestion. I was like, you know, if they can't stay what are the thing, and then obviously the argument was that, you know, sometimes people just don't want to pay attention, and then they don't know what's going on. So, you know, if they still want to be back, why don't you set a specific date, and if they decide to come back, they can. But then that will be a one-time thing. If they lose that one chance, you make a note so they can't do that again. You know, just like more like a forgiven day. So yeah, you know, Brian said it pretty good. Only on the anniversary every year we can do that, like a you have been forgiven, welcome back kind of thing. So yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Let me go through some brainstorm and set up an actual rule for that to work. All right, so that we know who has come back, who has been readmitted, and if they want to be readmitted, come back, and we will have something set up just for that. Because I don't want to. One thing I don't want to is to have anybody that questions like, hey, you're doing that because you want more members. But, you know, like you guys already know, I don't care for the amount of members that we have. I think that it's nice, small family. And then I think majority of you guys prefer to have a small group. So I'm totally okay with small group. I definitely don't want a revolving door. I mean, if I let them come back, it'll be a one-time thing, and that will be it. The next time we audit, they missed it, they're out again. So, you know, I don't want people to feel like I'm opening it back up because we need more people. We don't. I actually feel very comfortable around 150, to be really honest with you. Like, you know, everything's taken care of. Things could be done better, and people are more active. When I take a poll, when I take a something like, you know, we decide what color the coin should be, very quickly we'll have people put their opinion on it, and that really helps. That really helped than having a bunch of people that's not active and not doing anything. Then I'll be blindly waiting for people to answer those questions. You know what I'm saying? So to answer question about how long I want to keep the coins going, I don't know. I want to see if anybody else, if we have a few days there's no answer, then, you know, we'll see where we are at that point. And I agree with that. You get out of it only what you put into it. That's true with everything. Everything in life is true about that. Okay, like you get rewarded for what you put in, the effort that you put in, and that's with anything in life, right? Anything in life, if you work on it, you get rewarded. That's usually the case. So I understand some people don't even know. You know, I in Martina Maya's lounge, JJ has mentioned that he doesn't even know he's not in the group anymore, and that's a month later. So he doesn't even know. And for that particular case, it's like that shows that you don't even look at our feed for at least a month. You don't comment, you haven't done anything for at least a month. So that just shows how active he is in that particular case. So yeah, I think there's room to do that, but I want to set a clear rule and clear expectation on what that's gonna be. Yeah, you don't know until you're the guy that's keeping up the list, huh? You don't know how much work goes in the group until you're the one that has to do with the list. Once you have to keep up with the list, then you start to, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. But yeah, there's always more work to prep for the next thing. It's not something like, if we want to do something, we'll just do it right away. It's usually that. All right, have a great Thanksgiving, Garth. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. I will put that announcement up when I'm ready, and then on the day where we celebrate, 1-year anniversary, we'll open readmissions. So if people that has joined us before, they want to join us, they can. People that hasn't joined us before, they can go through like a evaluation or some sort of things, like an open admission basically. So for 1-year anniversary, let's do an open admission that allows people to readmit themselves if they were removed due to inactivity. They want to rejoin, they can, and then we can open that also for members that's not a member before that want to join us. And obviously, same rule apply, and we'll put all the rules out there for people to be able to join us or not. You know, something like that. Once a year kind of thing. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right? So once a year, we have open admission, and then the rest of the time is invite only. Sounds fair? Yeah, like Michael said, it's a full-time job. Believe it or not, it's really a full-time job. It's really a full-time job. It's really a full-time job. It's crazily full-time job. You know, having to communicate and all that stuff. You'll be surprised how hard it is to get vendors or stores to respond to you on time. Okay, they're always busy. How does that work in a closed secret group? So what we will do is we'll allow people to put their name on a list. This is I want to be part of the group. All right, and if it's someone that already been in the group, you just go ahead and add them back in. If someone is not in the group, we will have some sort of trial and see if they're fit for it. So there's got to be some sort of rule for the new people to join us. And one of the possible new things for people that's open that join through open admission is that they will have to do intros and all that stuff to get themselves. If we don't know them, we have to find a way to know them. Or we have rules like, you know, they have to participate in 10 live shows so that people actually know them. That's pretty simple, right? Join 10 live shows. That's only like a couple weeks, or maybe 5 weeks, 1 month, 1 month trial. I don't think that's that hard. We will just make some sort of rule for people to get to know us before they join, that actually join. People that's already joined, then yeah, add them in. People that hasn't, they have to go through some sort of trial. Trial by combat. That's easy to set up. Trial by combat. If you want to join, you must do a live smoking the woody. There we go. That's a good way, right? That's a good way. They have to compete and fight to the death. 2 may enter, 1 may leave. Shut the door, release the dogs. Go! You know, I think that it would be a good idea for people to have a chance. Because there are a lot of people that ask me how to join on Instagram. And the only answer I give them is usually find another member and have them invite you. That is kind of similar to open admission technically, because, you know, even if they find another member, the member doesn't know them that well. That is for sure, right? So what if we have a way for them to introduce themselves much better than having, you know, Martina Maya and you know, one of the mods just go invite them because they joined the show, right? So I wanted to create a situation where we'll be able to know them better before they join us. And that way they can know what they're getting into before they join us. So yeah, it's not too hard. It's just that how I'm going to set it up. That's the question. How we're going to set it up so that we can make sure the person who's joining us is truly interested to be part of the family. And really treasure and putting the effort to be in part of the family. Now I had to be very honest with you, right? There are some members in the family that I don't know anything about. They haven't introduced themselves. They made a few posts. I've seen the posts, but I still don't know who they are. That does happen. But if they are actively trying to be there, who am I to say that they shouldn't be there, right? Eventually we'll get to know them. Hopefully one day they'll open up and introduce themselves better, and then that way we can all know each other and stuff like that. The Legion's great. Especially today, I saw one of our members is moving to Germany right away. We have people in Germany. Hang out. Go check out the lounge. Have them suggest something. You know, life is different. So having members around is definitely a good thing. Definitely a positive. I think we need to move forward positively to make this experience better, to make the group better, to improve. You know, next year definitely. I want to apply what I learned from this year running Shadow Smoke's Legion to next year, so that we can do better. You know, that way we can do more things. We can continue to grow in a steady pace. Obviously, removing member at a steady pace as well, and continues, and we really do more, right? So 1 year anniversary is probably the time where we make some changes here and there. Do more by working less is usually what I want to do, right? Do more by doing less. You know, less is more. Less is more. So how do we do less and have more? It's by, you know, having more people participate, having more people join the activities, and that way we get to do less, and then more will happen. More will happen. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Hopefully that will work out. Of course, still try by error. You know, there are things that work, there are things that doesn't work, and I'm just trying them out one at a time. And obviously, surprisingly, people actually like the 30-second thing. I didn't even think anybody took that 30-second thing seriously. I enjoy making it because it doesn't take that much work. It just takes me to hold a cigar, smoke the cigar, write down the notes on the cigar. That was pretty good. I mean, that hopefully people like those. I mean, aside from me making a fool out of myself in the last picture, but I think that gives you the information around the spot. You have 1 second. You literally have 4 seconds to read through everything I typed. Unless you took a screenshot or paused it. You have 4 seconds to do that. But I think if you could, and you go to the shop, you want them to tell you about a cigar, you wish that they can tell you everything about a cigar in 4 seconds. Right? They gotta try to sell it to you, but it's like, just let me know the important part, because unless I smoke it, I wouldn't know. There is just 1 31 second. Just so you know, there's only 1 31 second. That's just because Nate asked for 31 seconds. So I made one for 31 seconds. But it works out. And I like it because it uploads in like 2 seconds too. It uploads really quickly. So yeah, whenever I smoke a cigar with you guys on Facebook, I just keep that cigar. Instead of reviewing that cigar in the Facebook, I just save that review and I'll put it onto the video. But I will chat with you guys as a podcast doing those cigars time, which is great. It works out for me. It works out for me, especially when I'm smoking. Here's the hard part is to try to remember which one I already did. You know, I don't remember. We have 90 something, like 100 videos now, more than 100 videos, and I don't remember what cigar I already smoked already. That's the problem. I don't remember what cigar I have already smoked. This group has the most fun, hands down. Well, just to us. I'm pretty sure a lot of other groups disagree. A lot of people who left would probably disagree. Apparently, if you go to a cigar place, a group that only talk about cigar and nothing else, is more fun. I like to talk about everything. I really do. Life is not about cigars. Cigar is just a escape. Cigar is just a escape for everything else that's happening in life. So having been able to talk about everything, including people who smoke pipe in our group, is definitely the right way to do it, in my opinion. Right? Because everything in life matters, and you can smoke to something, right? Newborn, new job, win something, lose something, memory of something. All that stuff is part of life. So being in a lounge, you wouldn't just talk about cigar, right? If you go out there and smoke in the lounge, most likely you're not talking about a cigar, right? When you're in the lounge, you don't really talk about cigars. Cigar is just a catalyst for us to know how long we spend it there. Cigar is just become a muscle movement to enjoy something while you're talking about everything else. So it's really important for us to be able to talk about anything in the group, everything in the group, and that's what's important. Cigar is just a catalyst. So we don't always have to talk about cigars. I mean, how much things can you talk about one cigar? Nothing. But the story behind the cigar is everything that you want to hear. It's much more interesting than hear about this thing, Nicaraguan fillers and binder and the size, all that stuff. You can get it within 4 seconds, right? If you really want to, you can Google it, and there's like scientific list of facts about the cigar, including like in some cigar they even tell you who rolled it, right? That information that is not something that you want. But you want to share about your experience about a cigar, why you smoke it, the story behind why you choose the cigar, how do you find the cigar. I think that's more important. How do we came about? Why do we end up smoking a cigar, right? How do you start smoking a cigar? Why did you want to try this cigar? Those things are more important than this cigar, because anybody can find a cigar, right? The experience behind it is a lifetime story, right? If we talk about Gurkha, you guys all remember what happened when I smoked a Gurkha, right? We're talking about soy sauce cigars. We all have a story about that soy sauce cigars, right? So it's that story that lasts forever, and it just continues. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We don't ever talk about cigars. We might smoke cigars and go, oh, that's pretty good actually. And then you go, what's that cigar? And I'll tell you what that cigar is. And then you're like, oh, continue with the story. Nothing else about cigar anymore. Cigar is just a catalyst. Like when you go out to eat a steak, how long can you talk about that steak? Not long, right? This steak is good. Medium rare is great. You got to try it next time. That will be the end of that steak story. But the story behind the cigar is, you know how Bob the Cigar Guy does the story time with Scratchy? The story is worth the time. The story goes with the cigar. You know, it's almost like a pairing. It works. People behind the cigar. It's why you want to pay attention to, not the cigar itself. The cigar is just, can you enjoy it? Is it affordable? Does it taste good? Does it look good? That's pretty much all you need to know. That's pretty much all you need to know. Now, the knowledge of how to smoke a cigar, you pretty much have majority of that knowledge once you smoke a cigar for a few months, right? You have that information once you smoke a cigar for a few months. So unless it's like an actual question happened during a life, then it's really not that complicated. Cigar is not complicated. Cigar is not complicated. Cigar makes everything else simpler. You know, you light up a cigar, you know, now you're sitting down for the hour, right? You light up a cigar, you're sitting down for an hour. That hour is filled with story, chat, funds, and companies, that kind of stuff. That's what makes cigar good, you know, because you can finally forget about everything else that can get you to stand up, aside from getting another cigar, and sit for an hour. Cigar should be like about that. Cigar should be all about that. Well, pipe, I start to work on it. Pipe, I still work on it. Anyways, so that's it for the show today. I know a lot of people have a lot of things to do for tomorrow. So enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We'll catch up again after Thanksgiving when everybody cool down and stuff like that. We'll talk about what we bought. You know, I would love to see what you guys bought for Black Friday and stuff like that. I'll show you guys what I bought from Cigar Store when I get there. So all that, we'll wrap it up for the week. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you enjoy it. Eat a nice meal. Have a nice cigar. Behave. Drink something. Alright, and enjoy the company of your family. I'm not gonna interrupt you guys doing that. I'm gonna try to spend time with my family as well. So, have a nice Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time, okay?